Just to give a little bit of background about Exhale Women's Fellowship, we've been around for 10 years. Where our director and our CEO is Carol Clark. And with Exhale Women's Fellowship, we do a lot for the women. We offer emergency housing, we offer assistance, we offer workforce development, mentoring for the women, and just a place of love where we show love to the women. So it's just a privilege to be just sitting here with you today. It's just a privilege just to see you smiling and just to be here with you today. But what we're going to do is just ask a few questions. Take me back to that September when you first were going through the situation that you were going through. What was it like? How you encounter Exhale Women's Fellowship, and what was that experience like for you?
Well, I was in an abusive marriage, and my husband planned to leave us financially destitute, no money, not paying for any bills, rent, or anything. So during the summer months, I was working and trying to keep everything above float. However, August 31st, I lost my home. And so I ended up staying with a woman who helped me in her business. She had a business, a barbershop, and she allowed us to stay there for a couple of days during the evenings. So there was one particular evening I wasn't allowed to stay there because she had another function going on. So that time, there was a woman named Miss Mallory who was affiliated with Carol and the Women's Fellowship and gave me the brochure, told me to call, and said that Carol was expecting me. So because of that, I was able to get the help done. I was able to explain my situation, and I say within hours I got the application, I handed it in or sent email to Carol, and the rest is history. I was able to get help from Carol and going to a hotel and being able to raise money for my children, being able to get the assistance, the mentorship from you, which was such a blessing, and just being able to have the opportunity to try to work things out during the time of being in the hotel, while the kids were in school, trying to find a job, trying to find housing, trying to find other things to keep a step up, and not to wallow in the self-pity of, my marriage, the abuse, and the homelessness and everything else that went on.
Now, what are you doing today? How has your life been changed as a result of going through that situation? And now you're on the other side of it. What are your future plans?
Well, to get my divorce by July. That's one, my first plan. Second is actually taking my time to mentor through motivational speaking. I was given the privilege to do that with you guys when we had the event in February. So I guess I looked at it as a form of mentorship, giving people hope, giving people joy, and understanding that it's okay to heal. So I have a few gigs lined up to empower women, empower victims who have been abused, as well as creating a movement, the New Jersey Domestic Violence Movement, which are comprised of myself and two other survivors who have gone through the same thing, different avenues, but we're all coming together with three different voices to restructure the way that domestic violence is handled throughout the system and to change this perspective of the victim. So, and meanwhile, we did have transitional housing. We're in post-transitional housing. So hopefully I'm working towards getting my own home, building a career, and creating a legacy for my children. As long as, I'm here, they'll always have, the benefits of me. So that's what I'm building towards.
Was Exhale able to be of any assistance with you with your children?
Absolutely. Not only did I stay in the hotel, but my sons, we were staying there together. Also, Christmas was amazing. I mean, it was a blessing because Exhale came in and got them Christmas presents. I didn't expect that. They've helped in so many ways, so many aspects. And my sons, they still play with them. They sleep with their quilts that we got. Trying to think what else. Christmas was just amazing. Let me just say that. So it was so many things that they've gotten, and I can't thank Carol. I can't thank everybody enough because they truly made something for out of nothing. Let me just say that. When we were homeless, we had pretty much nothing. We only had the clothes, a few clothes, and everything else was in storage. So they had no toys for months. So those toys meant everything to them. Coming in and just seeing their faces and just seeing their the blankets, seeing the what was it, Power Rangers and Paw Patrol and all the other things. But it was great. It was amazing.
Would you recommend Exhale Women's Fellowship to any women out there that are going through anything and may need assistance, going through some things that you may have experienced or any types of crisis?
Absolutely. Matter of fact, I always talk about Exhale. I told Troy Singleton's aide, Senator Singleton's aide, Jennifer. I've talked to several people about Exhale because the first thing that people talk about when you're a DV victim is to go to one of the staple shelters, and a lot of times, there's a lot of there's criteria that a lot of people aren't met with. And all I had to do was explain my situation and just tell them what's going on, and they decided whether or not they were going to help me. And fortunately for me, they did help. So I tell anybody, to go to Exhale, to ask for help, because it can be immediate. A lot of places aren't immediate, especially in the Burlington County area. So I would definitely recommend it to anybody. Everybody that needs it, yes. Talk to them. They're the real heroes out here.
Well, I'm so proud of you. It's been a privilege to be your mentoring you, and just to see how far you've come along. I'm sure you're going to do well for you and your family, and that you're just going to move on to do great things. So thank you for taking this time to share a little bit about your story, and we just wish you the best.
Thank you so much.
Did you know that there are women, poor women, vulnerable women, that the government agencies cannot help? Did you know that there are people who actually live in motels? We didn't know any of this. And once we started, we found out how many vulnerable women there are in New Jersey and in the surrounding areas, and we decided to help. Exhale Women's Fellowship helps with just about any crisis, any distress that a woman could go through. That's who we are, and that's what we do.
Ain't no need to worry what the night is gonna bring. Don't you worry about it. It'll be all over in the